Have you ever heard about the drop dead letter in the Philippines? Stick around, I'll tell you about it. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. Before I get started, I'll give a little weather update. Here we go. Yes, the weather report for Central Luzon. 98 degrees today. Humidity's kind of low, 42%, but that is still a heat index of about a 107. All right, there you go. So if you haven't been here before, or maybe you haven't been during this time of year, be prepared. It's warm. All right, so today's topic, still talking about Social Security. This one has to do with what's called the drop dead letter. I don't know how it ever got this name. Basically what it is a proof of life to the Social Security. Now, when you have to do this is if you have given Social Security a foreign address as to where you live. So last video I talked about doing your banking over here. This doesn't matter where you do your banking. It's what address you give for Social Security. So even if you're using your U.S. bank, you're still going to get this letter. Now, supposedly they send them every year. I've had people say that they only got them every other year. I haven't received one yet, and here's why. During the pandemic, because the mail system wasn't working, they suspended it. Now, I haven't heard yet that they have brought it back, but normally they mail them out in May. They mail out twice. The first time is in May. And then if they don't receive it by, I believe, September, then around the 1st of October, they mail it again. And you basically, it has to get back to them and into the system before the 1st of the year. Your January benefits will show up, but when it'll be affected is the January benefits, so you don't get paid for that till February. So your February check could be suspended or held, basically, until they receive this back. So there lies the problem. Even when we didn't have a pandemic and the mail system was operating, if you want to call it operating, it's not a very good system over here. Now, I live pretty close to Manila. I have received, I believe, my mail that was sent to me, at least that I knew of that was coming. I don't get much mail here, but I have received everything. Basically in about a 3-week time frame, sometimes less than that, no more than 3 weeks for me. But now that can be quite different if you're on another island, if you're in a more remote area. You may never see any mail at all. Okay, so there lies the problem. Also sending it back. The whole system, I don't know how. It doesn't seem to work that well, although most people are able to get taken care of fairly easy. Doesn't work well is that, anybody could fill it out. It's just a simple form like this, front and back. It's got a few questions on it, and you send it back. You don't have to have it notarized. So how they prove that you're alive with this letter, anybody could be filling this out. So it's kind of antiquated. And then also there's no way to know if it got back. Like you can't go on your My Social Security account and see like a checked box that they've received your this is a 7 Social Security Administration 7162 form. There's also a 7161, and that's for if you're receiving benefits for a child. Okay, basically a survivor's benefits for a child is Anyway, it's a proof of life form. So there's no way to know who's filling it out, and then there's also no way to know if it got back. So basically, most people here, like I said, I haven't done it because I only got my Social Security here recently during the pandemic, and it's been suspended, and we still don't know if it's coming out this year. But if you receive it, you fill it out. A lot of people have said they use regular international Phil Post. That's a regular post office here, Phil Post, and they've sent it with no problem at all. It does take some time. You're probably looking at, depending on where you are here again, you're probably looking at, maybe 5-6 weeks, up to 5-6 weeks for it to get back. Then they send it out again, like I said, in late September, October. And so then, a few weeks to get to you, then to get back to them. So hopefully there's enough time there. Other people have said they use LBC, although that's going to cost you a bit. I believe 1,200 pesos. And but I think you get a tracking. Now, some people have said they don't deliver to a P.O. box because these all go to a P.O. box. So some people said that LBC has no problem with it. So I guess I'll be finding out if they start it this year, maybe next year they start it up again. So I'll definitely be doing an update about it. But that's one thing you need to know about using your address here. Okay, now, what happens if it gets stopped? Your Social Security gets held because they haven't received this back. One good thing about having our Social Security office here is that you can get a hold of them, normally by email, and you can let them know your benefits were stopped. You believe it could be from the drop dead letter. What they'll do is they will send you one by email, and you fill it out and get it right back to them. People have told me that they're after about 3 or 4 days, they're able to get their benefits reinstated. The direct deposit goes through 3 to 4 days later. So you're not looking at weeks or months. You're looking at a few days, a week, for this to happen. So probably always a good thing here if you're getting your, if you're using this address, make sure that come about February, as the first of the year, when that February check is coming, make sure that you have a little extra cash on hand in case something happens like this, and you have to go through the process of getting the hold released on it. I've heard some people say they just copy this off and send it to the benefits unit here, Federal Benefits Unit at Manila, Social Security office. Others have told me there's a barcode that's put on it, and that would be done for data collection, a more rapid form of data collection when they get it back, so they can just run it through the machine. So everyone's got a little different way of doing it. Mostly it's not a big problem. Yes, it could be held, but 1 week probably isn't going to break the bank. So anyway, there's one more, and hopefully the last item I have about Social Security here in the Philippines. Taking care of your banking, if you're going to have your banking done here, and definitely the dreaded drop dead letter. All right, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll be back to you all soon again with another video. Bye now.